Housewives and mothers Sandra Granger and Sita Nagamutu over the weekend stepped out in campaign mode, backing their husbands in their run to become the country's next president and prime minister. The two women seemed quite passionate about dealing with a number of issues, especially in the area of education and poverty.
As a person in education, I recognize a fall in the quality of education, and many of our youths are not prepared for life.
That was Mrs. Sita Nagamutu, wife of Moses Nagamutu, prime ministerial candidate of the coalition. The educator went on to highlight the plight of many students across the country, including instances of some having to attend school hungry.
They sit in rundown classrooms. Scanty teaching materials is used whenever it is available. And there is still poor toilet facilities, no library, shortage of textbooks, and we can go on and on.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Sandra Granger, the woman set to become Ghana's next First Lady should the coalition win the elections, equated the PPP administration to an abuser.
We, the citizens of Guyana, have been abused by an administration that believes it has so much power over us that it cannot stand any criticism of any kind. This is why we have been victims of cuss-downs and bullyism and threats of slaps.
Mrs. Granger went on to note that too often the APNU-AFC is wrongfully blamed for stymieing progress just because the elected representatives ask questions.
How did you pick this person to carry out the project? Tell us why this money was spent and where it was spent. We have suffered from the wrath of an administration which becomes vengeful and threatening if any voice is raised against it.
Both ladies were received with resounding applause from the large crowd of coalition supporters. Rihanna Ahmad, HGP Nightly News.